Michigan State and Florida begin ABC's Bowl Feast. Linebacker Alex Brown headlines a young Florida defense. Gator coach Steve Spurrier has been frustrated by his struggling offense. Held a 1 touchdown in the SEC title game. Today he hopes to recapture the magic. Michigan State's Plaxico Burress is one of the most talented wide receivers in the college game. He averages 18 yards a reception. The Spartans also feature T.J. Duckett, a powerful freshman running back. He's found the end zone 10 times. Welcome to the OurHouse.com Florida Citrus Bowl. You are looking live at the Florida Citrus Bowl in Orlando, Florida, on a warm beginning to a new century. The Big Ten and the SEC come together. Michigan State against the Florida Gators. Happy New Year, everybody. With Gary Danielson, I'm Brent Musburger. Certainly for Bobby Williams, the new head coach for the Spartans, the beginning could not be any better than this. But now he has to play some games, and they're going to measure him on a 1-loss record. Let's start with his quarterback situation here, Gary.
Well, Brent, he's inherited a pretty good team, but he's inherited a problem at quarterback. Bill Burke started off good for this season. You can look at his first half statistics and then how he ended up. Part of the problem is he's had a bad shoulder. They're going to have to watch Michigan State is very closely in this game. If he struggles, we will see the sophomore Ryan Van Dyke in this football game. But both quarterbacks would be advised to use their new star here, T.J. Duckett. Rushed for over 159 yards against Penn State. He's a bruiser, like a Ron Dane. Florida has seen no one like him this year. They could be their go-to guy right there, TJ.
Well, the third member of our team is Jack Arute, Gary, and Happy New Year, Jack. You're with the new coach.
Happy New Year to you, too. For Bobby Williams, 41 years of age, it's been an e-ticket ride. First the interim coach, now the head coach for the Michigan State Spartans. As you get ready to lead the team in for your first ever game. Any butterflies at all, Coach?
Butterflies? Look at this group behind me. I guess you guys better watch out because we're coming out here. Happy New Year to everybody. Let's go play this game.
All right, it's all yours, Coach.
All right,
have at it.
Let's go.
And here come the Spartans. A fired-up head coach. And the first meeting between Michigan State and these Gators. Florida comes in with a 2-game losing streak. They've never, ever lost 3 in a row under Spurrier. He says he's a changed man. We'll see about that, but he did name Doug Johnson the starter.
Yeah, Brett, what do they call this offense down here for Florida? The fun and gun?
Fun and gun, yeah.
Well, this year it's been too much think, dink, dunk, and punt. And they've had a first half and a last half that has been very similar to Michigan State. Doug Johnson, in and out, though. He's going to finish up for him. I suspect Spurrier is going to call a lot of passes today. He's going to throw the ball, and Doug Johnson's going to be the guy.
Folks, he swore yesterday that the visor would stay on his head. We'll find out about that. The Florida Citrus Bowl is coming up next.
Welcome back to the Orlando Citrus Bowl. I'm with the head coach of the Florida Gators, Steve Spurrier. How important is this game to this team, Coach?
Well, it's as important as any bowl game always. You're usually remembered by your last game of the year. So hopefully, if we really play well, that's the one the Gators will remember.
Guys, remember, this is a 10th anniversary of sorts. New Year's Eve 10 years ago, this man took the reins of the Gator Nation.
Good kickers on both sides here today. This, of course, is Paul Ettinger. He is from nearby Lakeland, Florida, a senior at Michigan State, and he's one of the best in the Big Ten. We're watching this fella warm up, and it's like an unusual kind of a golf swing, how he twists his body far back to the right when he sets up on a field goal.
Don't even mention golf. The way I played the last couple of weeks, I'm moving on to something now. I want racquetball where the ball comes back to you all the time.
I'll tell you, Gary, the Spartans better be ready to cover because Bo Carroll and Johnny Capel are back deep. And right away, Spurrier loads up with the speed on the receiving end for the Gators, who would love nothing better than to score a touchdown on their first series, but keep going, which is exactly the opposite of what they did against Bama when they scored on the first drive and then went dry for the rest of the game. High bounce, picked up now by Capel. The speedster swings to the right. Out of bounds at the 26-yard line. Let's check in now on our OurHouse.com lineup here for the Florida Gators offensively. The offensive line, big one, averaging almost 300 pounds. Ryan Kalish of Houston, Texas steps in. Yarborough didn't make the grades, and so he is out. Travis Taylor and Darrell Jackson, the go-to receivers. Jackson, the main man, 9 touchdowns on the season. And today they are really shorthanded in the backfield. Ernest Graham out with turf toe. We also learned that Chuck Marks is sidelined. So Bo Carroll and Robert Gillespie, now they must carry the burden. But it doesn't take long for Spurrier to do what he likes to do best, almost intercepted. Threw behind the wide receiver Travis Taylor on first down. Defensively for the Spartans, and this is a tough unit to run against. Look at their average. 5th in the NCAA, tops in the Big Ten, allowed only 77 rush yards a game, and the linebackers are good too. How about T.J. Turner with 5 interceptions, Julian Peterson, the ringleader, and this secondary will have to come up big. This is huge for Amp Campbell out of Sarasota. He wanted to go to Gainesville in the worst way, felt he was snubbed a bit by Steve Spurrier. He's been rather outspoken about it, and he says they can bottle up the Gator receivers. We shall see. Almost intercepted. So twice they've had 2 chances. Eric Morris, the strong safety, can't come up with one that was thrown almost directly to him.
On the first play, Alex Willis was wide open. Steve saw it, came right back to the same play, but this one was tipped, I think, by Julian Peterson that time. 3 straight throws, Brent, that really weren't even close to completions for the Gators to start this game.
Yeah, that's a very sour note for them to begin the new century. Gary Scott to return, very dangerous. Good punter, Alan Ryan out of Sebring, Florida. He's a junior, number 47. Hangs it high, but a little bit on the short side. Fair catch is the call. And the fair catch is made at the 42-yard line. So Burke leads the Spartans out here for the first down. What do you think Michigan State will attempt to do here?
I think they'd like to get Burke off a little bit. He was 8 for 24 in their last game. Establish a little bit of passing game and then ram big TJ.
They bring TJ in. They start Clemens on a play fake. They're rolling Burke, and down he goes. The first sack of the game for the Gators at the 31. You do not want to challenge that speed. Oquindo Johnson, who moved up to the defensive end spot, only 214 pounds. And now our OurHouse.com Michigan State lineup and their offensive line, not quite as big as the Gators. They average 293 pounds. And great skill here. Plaxico Burress, we are told, has been timed in 4-4. We want to see that to believe it. Clemens is in that backfield. And, of course, Gary mentioned that T.J. Duckett, who has averaged a touchdown almost every 10 carries, is in there. 2nd and forever after the sack by Oquindo Johnson. Burke does get time, comes back wide open, back to the original line of scrimmage, and that is the first pass caught by Burress on the day. He's 6'6", 222 pounds out of Virginia Beach, working against this defense. Oquindo Johnson moving up to that defensive end spot with that big sack on first down. That puts Alex Brown at a linebacking spot with 13 sacks, but only 1 against Bama and Florida State this year. Manuel leads the team in tackles with 118. He's a hard-hitting safety out of Miami. Clemens, the running back for the Spartans. They're looking. Got him. And Burress with his 2nd reception. And Jackaroo, what a future this young man has ahead of him.
Brent, when this matchup was announced, Plaxico Burress's phone began to ring. He took phone calls from former Gators like Rydell Anthony, Fred Taylor, Javon Curse. They all said, hey, big boy, it's our turn. We're going to take you to the woodshed. He spent the last 3 summers, as you said, working out with those former Gators and many of the current Gators. He says, I did fairly well against them in one-on-one drills against the Gators' best.
Now, you can be happy that Javon Curse is up in Nashville right now, and Clemens breaks free, crosses midfield to the Gators' 48-yard line. And for all the world here in the early going, after that 13-yard run, Gary, it looks like the Spartans can get the running game going.
Yeah, you're right. So far, Michigan State has been running the ball more effectively, obviously, than they've been throwing the ball. That's that offensive line. And you know, Florida didn't think this could happen. They were convinced they could stop the running game. Jim Hoke, their first-year defensive coordinator, said we'd be very surprised if they could just muscle up and run the ball between the tackles on us. So far, they have done it very effectively.
John Hoke, the defensive coordinator, first year under Spurrier on the Florida sideline. Replaced Bobby Stoops, who's out of Oklahoma as the head coach. This is the 6th rushing carry, and Clemens easily into the soft middle for another 5 yards. So they've got about 37, 38 yards now and 6 carries so far in this game. So their rushing average is way too high from a Gator standpoint.
You know, especially a Gator defense that had done a good job. You know, remember Tennessee came in and tried to muscle up and run the ball against Florida early in the year. They ran the ball 40 times and gained only 95 yards. So they are not. The Gators used to having people ram the ball down their throats.
T.J. Duckett lined up 6 yards deep. First down, bolts free. First down at the Gator 32-yard line. That's 10 more rushing yards. And the Gators need to come up with a way to stop the running game.
You know what's happened in the SEC is Steve Spurrier has had such great success as you watch this play from behind. T.J. Duckett, great job by Morris Watts keeping the running backs fresh by alternating. The SEC, to get back to Steve, great success by Steve Spurrier, so the whole league is a passing league. They don't see this kind of power running game anymore in this league.
Little John Flowers into the Spartan backfield, and he'll block. Manual, the throw is underneath. This will do no good at all. Good run after the catch by Chris Baker, the tight end, the sophomore. A good one. He made the most of it, but he had no chance. Taquendo Johnson brings him down. Paul Edinger, a 46-yard attempt. Florida misfired on its first field goal opportunity. Edinger, a good kicker. Puts Michigan State up by 3. The Spartans strike first. So we've got a timeout at the OurHouse.com Citrus Bowl. Freshman Duckett averaging 8 yards a pop, 4 carries, 33 yards. His teammates will tell you that when Steve Spurrier played, he was the calmest quarterback on the field. It's an entirely different personality as a coach, and probably one who is frustrated because he can't get out of the field doing anything about it. Capel from the end zone will come on out for Florida. Shots quickly on a big hit at the 20-yard line, and goes down in 10. Shotgun look from Johnson, and here's the special Spurrier play. Complete to Gillespie. I'm not sure that Doug Flutie diagrammed it that way, Doug. We better talk to Flutie about how to do that play, okay? A little bit.
It has none of the trick plays, and again, that's a salute to the defensive staff for Michigan State. They have been ready for the trick plays. Bill Miller, first-year coordinator, Julian Peterson putting the pressure on it. Gillespie catches it and catches a mouthful all at the same time.
Well, Gator fans know the old Emory.
Whoa.
Oh, baby, but hold on. Didn't hit the ground.
That's right. You know it's coming.
Oh, it sure is. In the middle, bobble caught, hung on to, and Willis down the sideline. It'll be brought back. He is out of bounds.
Well, I don't know if he stepped out there, though. I thought it was further down. They got him at the 48-yard line. A crossing route, which is a pick route over the middle of the football field that time, and Alex Willis gets wide open on the play. You're going to see this guy come across, another guy come across and pick, and watch what happens right here. Michigan State going to get picked on the play. There it is. Here he comes down the sideline, and well, I don't know if I didn't even think he came close. I think maybe the official grabbed the wrong line. Well, he's not out there. There it is. Foot's out right there. I don't know what yard line it is.
The coaches didn't argue with it. It's a 20-yard gain. Capel coming around, and they swarm on him, but there are penalty flags.
Too many men on the field for Michigan State, I believe. I hope I'm right this time, Brett. I made a big point of that last time, and I was one off. Just one, though.
Legal participation. 12 minutes.
I get it. Gary Daniels. Now that should make you mad.
Bobby's got the sweat going, I'll tell you that. He needs a visor. You know, Brent, just like the running game can wear down a defense, a passing game, the way Florida interchanges these receivers, they can wear down these corners from Michigan State. It's a long football game to have to be chasing these guys all over.
After the 5-yard penalty, Bo Carroll up the middle on 2nd and 15, and the umpire a little bit in the way, short of the first down. But he gets it back to a manageable territory after the 11-yard run.
Bo Carroll ran right at the umpire that time. You're going to see it's a bit of a draw. Here's the umpire. Watch Bo Carroll says, hey, I'll just use this guy as a shield. Go right at him. I got a shield, a lead blocker. And that time, getting up and just gutting that Michigan State. You know, they spread them out now. It's exactly what the Gator offense wanted to do. Spread out the defense and then come with the running game in the second half of the football game. We've seen it now in the second quarter.
Thomas Wright, number 43, down for the Spartan defense.
Third down, which has been so awful for Florida this year, and this is one they really want to pick out. 5 wide receivers, Michigan State 3rd and 4 here, going with 6 defensive backs.
Gators trail it by a field goal. Burke's got time underneath, and Taylor trying to battle his way for a first down. And
going to get roughing the passer, though, no matter what.
Well, they get it then automatically.
Yep.
On the roughing the passer, there's your first down for Spurrier's Gators.
Roughing the passer on the defense. Half the distance to the goal. First down. Let's take a look and see who it was this time. Ball is thrown. One more step, and boy, that was pretty obvious right there. Sean Wright, number 31, the outside linebacker. And remember that shot of Nick giving an earful to Robert Smith against Purdue? I think Sean Wright, if he does another one of those, is going to get an earful from Bobby Williams. That was just plain dumb.
So the Gators inside the 15-yard line. Straight ahead to the 12-yard line, using Gillespie on first down. Oh, this is, hey, you young linemen over at LSU, here's a word of warning. You do what the coach tells you to down there in Baton Rouge, okay? Or you're going to get an earful. As a man can flat out coach, especially on the defensive side of the ball. You give him a couple years of recruiting, he'll shut off that faucet to every other team down in the South over there in Louisiana. And LSU will get back in business. There's some great, great fans over there, just thirsty for a winning football team in Baton Rouge. Straight back now as Doug Johnson fires, reach for the end zone, touchdown! Touchdown! Travis Taylor!
This was a perfect read by Doug Johnson, throw, and a great play at the end of this by Travis Taylor. Inside technique to the outside. I'm not sure if he got in or not on this play. And you'll see the throw. I thought he stepped out of bounds from here. Let's see if he does. No, he didn't go around that pylon. I don't think so. That ball should be on the 1-yard line that time. Well, that was a mistake. Flat out mistake by the official. Ball should be on the 1-yard line.
Jeff Chandler. (7-3). Gators score on a controversial touchdown. Travis Taylor, the junior out of Jacksonville. And let's take a look at an isolated play on it.
You see the inside technique. Perfect read by Doug Johnson. You see inside technique. You see the guy here. Throw the ball to the outside. Should be very easy to get it right there. Ball's thrown. Nice stick by the receiver with his foot. There the ball goes to the 1-yard line, but he does not reach the ball around the pylon. It goes behind. Just like if they need those field goal referees.
Or over the top. But, you know, it would have been a first down. I mean, let's not make too much. Yeah, it's controversial. They could have fumbled it against them. Michigan State made too many mistakes defensively. Coach Williams would have told you. And from the sideline, Steve Spurrier sticking with Johnson. Made a nice throw on it. Very happy with the performance of his quarterback in making that read. But, Gary, you put your finger on it. That was a terrific pattern.
Yes.
Dick Vermeil, I used to go to his practices, Gary, and diagram all those plays and all those pass patterns.
He's using them.
Dick exactly told me on the phone that he is using a couple of things that he learned. But I'll tell you what, Dick was one of the great students in his 13 years of working football around the country. Nobody studied other coaches and what they were doing.
Well, and that's the great thing about coaching. If you think young, you can stay in the game, and Dick has proven that.
Herb Haygood for the Spartans. Slips a couple of tackles. Strong return for Michigan State to the 30-yard line. And here Clemens carrying about 5 Gators with him, out to the 37-yard line here. Our first quarter comes to an end. Florida 7, Michigan State 3. And we'll continue after this message and a word from our ABC stations. Welcome back to the OurHouse.com Florida Citrus Bowl. Florida leading Michigan State. Our weather beautiful, but a little bit on the warm side, which could wear down the defensive linemen on both sides before this game is over. Along with Jack Arute and Gary Danielson, I'm Brent Musburger. Happy New Year, everybody. Full slate of bowl games coming your way on ABC. The Rose Bowl presented by AT&T is after us, and then the FedEx Orange Bowl will come up later tonight. Now it is third down here. TJ Duckett. Swarmed all over by the Florida Gators, who may have kept him short of that first down. Derek Chambers was the first to hit him. He's the junior out of Lawndale, North Carolina.
The Florida defensive line is also a bit short in bodies for this game, Brent. They only have a rotation of 3 players at the defensive tackle spot, so Michigan State thought they would try to run right at them, and the Gators stopped them big time.
So Craig Jarrett into punt is Duckett is stuffed. Bo Carroll set to return the Jarrett punt. They come after him and they hit him, and there's going to be a penalty. There is going to be a penalty. That's a first down no matter what they call. First down for Michigan State. They needed less than 5 yards for the first down, so it doesn't matter.
Yep. A bit blocked into the punter, but kind of a silly play, I think, Brent. No way this ball was going to be blocked this time. You can see he almost slowed down that time, and, you know, Benny Alexander just kind of made a mental mistake that time. 4th and short. You don't want to get yourself in a position where the referee can call a first down on your team.
And this is a big one, too. This is going to be a personal foul. This is a huge mistake.
I have a feeling that Michigan State, Morris Watts and Bobby Williams right now got to be a little bit in shock that they're still in this football game with Bill Burke really struggling. 3 for 7 in the football game. They've not been able
Gary,
to
but I don't think
game.
Doug Johnson has been that electric.
Neither quarterback has done much.
They may have designed that short passing game to take advantage of this speed up front from Florida, too, figuring that if they spend too much time trying to get downfield, that the Gators might close in defensively. Now here is Scott. His time. Burke's going to try to take it deep. Burress separates. Touchdown, Michigan State. He showed you his physical ability on that play as he absolutely separates from the safety for a 37-yard touchdown. And it was classic Burress at his best, and you will see why the NFL is the next stop for this young man.
This was pretty good coverage by Benny Alexander, but watch this throw. Right at the end, Burress has that little bit of a reach. He really wasn't more than 1.5 yards open, but he stuck out his hands, and the ball stuck right there. Also a fine throw from Burke on that play.
A nightmare for Alexander, who roughs the punter on 4th down. Then he can't handle Burress, and now so we've got a timeout on the field with Michigan State leading Florida 10-7. During that commercial break, several of the Gators came over and tried to lift Benny Alexander's spirits. He committed the personal foul against the punter, and then Burress beat him for the touchdown that has put the Spartans up 10-7 with 13:24 left here in the first half.
Well, Benny Alexander made one mental mistake, but the other one was all physical. That was a perfect throw, perfect catch. That one's tough to defend when they throw him that well. Burress will beat most corners on that type of throw.
Low line drive back into the end zone. Carroll will take a knee, and it'll come out on the 20-yard line. Going to be a wild one there, John.
We did George in a lot of points, didn't we?
Yes, we did. Fumble! Spartans have got it. Touchdown, T.J. Turner.
Boy, T.J. Turner always seems to be where the action is. mentioned in the pregame when you introduced TJ Turner, 5 interceptions, now a fumble recovery, but it was Julian Peterson that forced it loose, Brent.
Look at Ettinger's back.
Yeah.
How he turns it, Gary, and then
It's a different
swipes it
style.
right to
Yeah,
where it is. Michigan State leading the Gators suddenly by 10, 17, 7 on the turnover. Timeout.
A couple of guys, Richard Newsom, the strong safety, Julian Peterson, both get a hand on Johnson this time. The ball pops loose, and then TJ Turner, Brent, 5 interceptions for a middle linebacker, and now a fumble recovery. One of those guys that just seems to be around the ball.
Right time, isn't he?
Yep.
Gives him a 10-point lead with 12:44 to go here in the first half. Bobby Williams' team playing hard in its first game for the new coach. Capel coming out to the 17-yard line where it will be first down for the Gators. They fake the end around. Gillespie short of the first down. A penalty flag, though, and if there was a face mask going out of bounds on that side or a late hit, that will give Florida a big first down.
5 yards, face mask, on the defense, into the run, first down. I think this is the 5th kind of trick play that Steve has used in the football game. This has been the most successful of them, and getting a first down on a fake reverse. But so far, Michigan State has studied their tricks, concentrated on what they're supposed to do in the football game, and they've been very physical doing it.
10th play of this drive coming up. They just don't have the home run ball.
Now, they don't have a Fred Taylor either running the ball. Very, very smallish in the backfield, for this game at least.
Yeah, in the Big Ten, you need those big sturdy fellas like Dane. He tore up the Spartan defense.
Oh, what a
great catch by Travis Taylor. The 8-yard line, over the shoulder, never broke stride. Pretty throw from Doug Johnson.
Nice job by Travis Taylor. He's going to set up this throw. Going to be down here at the bottom of your screen right here. Sets up the throw, and they throw that one to a spot. When the receiver gives the quarterback room to throw the football and watch him run under the ball and catch it with outstretched hands, that's perfect technique, and you see Florida do that all day in practice.
Gillespie, Johnson's running back. Johnson gonna throw it. Touchdown. Pass interference is the call. Touchdown to Travis Taylor.
I often say when you call plays, it doesn't have to be a chess match. It could be a checkers game, and that's how Steve called this one. You call the fade one time, you get them thinking that way, and you come inside and you run the slant. You go one way, the play goes the other way. It's really not all that difficult. It's precision in the footwork, the timing, the quarterback, the blocking. Everything has to fit together, though, to make a pass play successful.
Jeff Chandler. You know, it is a gentler, kinder Steve Spurrier. After the fumble by Doug Johnson, he puts him back in. He leads him on an 83-yard drive for a Florida touchdown. Timeout. And this is our house today. You can add the .com and have a little glass of orange juice. Celebrate Florida Citrus Day here. Happy millennium, happy century, happy new year. And here's the man to replace Nick Saban. And he's been fiery over there on that Michigan State sideline with Coach Saban's going to be talking to us soon. He has moved to LSU with his family, and he's been watching his former team here this afternoon and his former coaching staff. And we'll find out how he's enjoying it as a fan. Fielded now by Haygood for the Spartans, and he explodes to the 32. Duckett pounds. A star in the making.
Absolutely.
Could be the next Ron Dane of the Big Ten. 17 yards and only, folks, a freshman.
You know, he has that linebacker mentality, even though he's still, you know, just recently switched from linebacker, making the shift to tailback. He's not going to go back to linebacker anymore. He's, as Nick said, too valuable for this football team. And as Michigan State loses some senior talent, they're going to have to depend on this guy to take some time off the clock next year in the rugged Big Ten.
Lloyd Clemens, without a touchdown on the season, checks in. Baker in motion. Burke, and it's deflected. Davis knocks it away at the line of scrimmage.
That was a little bit of a surprising call to me. Let me be the first guy to welcome Bobby to the coaching profession and say, I'm second guessing that call, Bobby. I know you're a Boilermaker. I'm a Boilermaker, but, you know, third and 1.5 yards, you've been pushing this team all over. You take out Duckett and you throw one of these passes, and I don't quite understand it. Not even to Burress.
If you're going to throw, I think you should leave Duckett in the game.
I think so, too. And I'd be throwing it to number 4, too.
So here's the 20-yard field goal attempt. That advice is free, Bobby, by the way. Yes.
It comes every week, too, doesn't it?
Whatever happens, my friend. There's the field goal. So Ettinger makes it 20-14, timeout. Welcome back now to the OurHouse.com Florida Citrus Bowl on this lovely day. Sarasota, he wanted the ball thrown to him.
That's what you're saying. He's wide open. Just read his lips. Billy, I was wide open. Now watch Van Dyke, the backup quarterback, say, come in. That's his arm right there. Say, you're all right. You're all right. He wasn't that open. You know, receivers, they're always open, right?
Burress, he probably did read the Keyshawn Johnson book. You know, it's amazing with some of these egos of wide receiver.
He memorized it.
They are the characters, aren't they?
Plaxico plays special teams, asked to be on special teams all year. He's been down there. He's been more of the safety, and actually Florida's been going after him a bit towards the end of the plays. He's way up here at the top, Plaxico, way away from the action.
Short kickoff.
Oh, he's got him. He's got him. He's got him.
Burress makes the tackle for Michigan State.
And I don't think he's going to be playing many special teams next year.
I don't think so either.
Brad, during that read by you for our little bit of a contest we got going on Monday night, Am Campbell ran over to Bobby Williams and said, get Nick Myers off the field, number 75, and Bobby Williams did.
Gillespie.
Am Campbell, the captain of the team, did not appreciate that penalty the previous play and said, get him out of here. There's Myers, number 75, just a sophomore. The penalty was on him on the previous play, and Campbell said, get him out of here. We don't need him.
Yeah, this game has a lot of meaning for Amp Campbell. Yep. He was an extremely highly rated defensive back out of Sarasota, Florida. The Gators didn't think his grades were good enough. They wanted him to go to prep school. Amp took it personally. And this game means a lot to him. Gillespie slips through to the 31-yard line. First down for the Gators. They're driving, and they're down by 6 here with 1:49 left in the quarter. 8 carries, 49 yards for Gillespie.
Look at the movement. Michigan State gets caught with a quick count right there. Not lined up right. They had the first play, right play on, a toss to the outside, and you got to keep changing up that snap count.
Michigan State will keep an eye on Travis Taylor. He's hurt them there in the first half. Got a timeout been called by Michigan State. So let us take a break. 1:41 to go, and Michigan State leading Florida 20-14. First down for the Florida Gators. Ball spotted inside the state 20-yard line at the 18-yard line.
Spartans are sucking some wind right here. They're getting tired.
All 3 of their timeouts. There's the fake on the end around. Johnson overthrew the intended receiver, which was Robert Gillespie, who had slipped out of the backfield, and it will be second down. The Gators still have all their timeouts remaining here in the first half. Michigan State is down to 1 as we close in on the final minute of the half. Florida trailing it by 6 points. Travis Taylor with 2 touchdowns today, 4 catches for 55 yards. He has been the big go-to receiver, number 19 for Florida. He would be off to the left of the formation. They're down by your bottom is number 19. He's the split in. High snap. Johnson looking for Taylor. Coming back high, too high, got on a ricochet, and Travis Taylor with an aerial circus type play and out of bounds, stopping the clock with 57 seconds. 11-yard gain, and that is 5 catches for 66 yards.
Was there some talk? I think Alex Brown said our receivers aren't pulling their load. Their own teammate said it. Amp Campbell said they're not tough enough, but watch this one. Great concentration. Ball was high, and Taylor, just a very gifted athlete, up against Cedric Henry, the backup cornerback time makes the play. Michigan State has had to substitute. They got some backups in. Their front guys are tired. Robert Smith has not done anything in this football game, and so far Florida has the Spartans on their heels as they tire in the first half.
Gators with a chance to take the lead if they score a touchdown. Mo Carroll stopped at the 5-yard line. They had to rip it away from him. Let's check in with Jack Arute on sucking wind down there on the field.
Boy, they are, and Gary, you're so right. One of the things you know as you watch players, if they've got their hands up on their hips, if they're trying to get as much oxygen in, taking deep breaths, that's what's happened to this defense down here in the red zone for the Michigan State Spartans. The flag is out, and this is a break, this flag, because, hey, it gives them a little more chance to recuperate.
2nd and a goal for Florida. The ball on the Spartans' 6-yard line. Gators trail it by 6. Gillespie, the running back. Taylor off to Johnson's left. Looking right. Johnson out of Willis, and he stepped out of bounds at about the 1-yard line. They're conferring in that corner.
And the Spartans are saying, now you're talking. Why didn't you talk before when we needed it? Good throw by Doug Johnson. Sprint out, option play, the slot option play. Everybody in pro football runs this play. Everybody in college football runs it. See it? Darrell Jackson's going to come out. A little shade to Alex Willis. Let's see if he catches it. Just keeps 1 foot in. Got it. Good call. I think it was very there. I think it's very close, but the right call.
Well, it is possible that patience would have worked for Johnson. They're going to go empty in the backfield right now.
And it'll be a quarterback sneak, right?
They need 1 yard. It is a 3rd down with 36 seconds. The middle of the Spartan defense obviously ready in case Johnson elects to keep it, which he does. He goes in for the Gators. So Doug Johnson gives the Gators a chance to take a 1-point lead before the intermission. And Florida has to feel very good because of the way this game has unfolded in the first half.
Both teams, I think, are playing at the beginning kind of sloppy football, but very emotional football and a physical football game. But it looks like Doug Johnson's kind of got his comfort zone now, or maybe Steve has found his comfort zone on how to attack this defense.
Jeff Chandler for the lead here, Gary. There it is. 11 plays, 80 yards in 2 minutes and 36 seconds. Doug Johnson keeps it himself. He has also thrown for 2 touchdowns this half, and his Gators are ahead by 1 point. They lead Michigan State 21-20. And welcome back to Orlando, 21-20. Gary Danielson, the Gators with a late lead. Your feeling about the second half?
I thought in the second quarter that Michigan State began to feel the heat. And in the second half, I think in the fourth quarter, they're going to get a little second win here to start the third quarter, but I think it'll be a factor. I like the way Michigan State has been aggressive, but penalties have just killed them in this football game.
You know, it has really paid off for Steve Spurrier using his senior quarterback, Doug Johnson. Yeah. He has thrown for 2 touchdowns, and he has also run for a third. That's the one that put them ahead after the extra point. So Doug Johnson has certainly worked out for Spurrier, at least so far in this game. And the Spartans will get to handle the ball here, Gary, early on in the third quarter.
Well, I think the mismatch that hasn't been utilized enough is Burress. Plaxico Burress, you saw in that one drive when Burke got the ball to him, a stop, a slant, a corner. You can see that Florida cannot match up. There's no one in the SEC conference anywhere near this type of guy. I mean, this is a type of guy that can catch 15 passes in this game and win it by himself, basically.
In that first half, Burress was 6 catches for 76 yards. Taylor, on the other hand, for the Gators, 6 for 74 yards and 2 touchdowns. So he's been matching the more celebrated Burress in this game. Chandler kicks it along the ground. Herb Haygood scoops it up inside the 5-yard line and cuts toward the middle of the field. And Michigan State will have it shy of the 20-yard line. We take a look at the Morgan Stanley Dean Witter stats. I want you to remember that the Spartans had been giving up only 70 yards average on the season per game. 77 was the total, Gary, and look at what Florida hit them with.
Exactly, and they ran the ball well. Some of them were trick plays, but look at this. Michigan State, third down conversions. A couple of those, Brent, have been on very short third down plays where you figure a TJ Duckett, excuse me, and that offensive line should be able to pick that up.
Lloyd Clemens opens the second half at tailback. Burke hit on the release, incomplete, as Okendo Johnson blitzes on the first play, comes clean on him. Man, what a lick Burke took from number 50.
Talked to Johnny Hoke about Okendo Johnson. He said he's a good talent. They had him at linebacker all year. Kind of easy to get those sacks when no one blocks you, and that's what happened. Kind of a bust that time. Okendo Johnson has had the type of a game that usually Alex has the type of a game as Alex Brown had been nothing in this football game so far.
2nd and 10. Strong run to the 27. Jackaroo, what the coaches have to say?
Well, Brent, Steve Spurrier thinks that Doug Johnson, his quarterback, has found his rhythm. He says, we're going to keep pitching. We're going to keep catching. On the other side of the ball, Bobby Williams says, we've got to outplay the penalties that we've gotten. But Bill Burke had the greatest line. He's a big fan of Austin Powers. He grabbed me on the way out and he says, I wonder what Austin Powers would say in this situation. And then he said, they haven't stolen my mojo yet.
Jack, speaking of penalties, there were 3 15-yarders against the Spartans. 3rd and a yard, and Burke rolls. First down underneath to DeJuan Moss.
2 times the Spartans were stopped on 3rd and short. This time Morris Watts, the offensive coordinator, calls the logical play. Fake it off, tackle, slip your fullback out of the flat, and just pitch and catch it for a first down. That'll make it easier to run the ball next time. Fullback is just going to slide right out. Watch a little fake to the tailback this time. Gets tackled right away. Whole Florida defense is right there, and a nice catch by your fullback.
Freshman corner by the name of Lido Shepard, number 3, is on the field for the Florida Gators. He's out of Jacksonville's Raines High School. They think he has a great future. Incomplete. He was defending Gary Scott downfield that time, and Burke tried to throw once again to his fullback underneath the coverage. But in talking to the Gator coaches, they say that they have tried, along with Brown, they have tried to get number 3, Lido Shepard, on the field, and he just simply had a lot to learn.
Right.
And so they're going to give him some reps right now and see if he can hold out. He's 5'10", 184, gives him a little more size out there on the corner, and they think that he could be an outstanding corner of the future. He's working with Benny Alexander as Robert Cromartie is watching right now. 2nd down and 10. Burke goes after him, knocked away, and the young man comes up with a play.
Came up with a play, but the ball was not thrown very well either. Bill Burke had that ball too far outside. If that ball would have been thrown inside, that thing would have been completed that time. Herbie Haygood ran a good route, little hook route to the outside, goes in motion. Watch him go upfield. Comes in, stops. Now if it's in there, look at that. He has to go back outside. That could have been an easy pitch and catch with a good throw.
3rd and 10. It is Burress against the freshman. Shepard with his hands full if the Spartans can get after it over there. Gators show they're coming. Deep middle, diving reception for the catch that time, and the first one for LaVale Richardson today, the junior from Warren, Ohio. Penalty flag thrown back at the line of scrimmage. That's an 18-yard gain, and it'll stand if the Gators jumped offside, and they did.
And where was the ball thrown against his zone blitz? Right over the middle. Richardson's going to come from the left side of your screen and go right into the middle of this formation. Inside out coverage. help, ball's thrown, and what a catch. That's a nice catch. Lay out and got it. Billy still seems to be laboring throwing the football to me. He is not 100% like he was at the beginning of his football year.
Alexander goes over on Burress, and the Spartans were running the ball anyway that time on first down. TJ Duckett hit by Daryl Dixon, who's another freshman. When you take a look at this Gator defense, all the freshmen and sophomores who are out there, and you think back especially to the last couple years when Javon Curse, Mike Peterson, Tony George, all starting in the NFL this year were there. Reggie McGrew on the Denver roster, Johnny Rutledge at Arizona. I mean, you've got Javon Curse alone, the defensive rookie of the year in the NFL. They lost a ton of talent. Second down and 10. And now Burke looking middle again, goes left side, got it complete. Baker out of bounds at the 23-yard line. First down, an 18-yard gain. Chris Baker.
The play-action pass game started with that 3rd and short. The big first down play on 3rd down was made, and now all of a sudden this passing game against the man coverage this time, Chris Baker gets by the linebacker. Perfect throw that time from Burke. Seems like Morris Watts has found a little bit of a rhythm in his play calling here.
TJ Duckett, one of the split backs on the delay. Duckett to the 21-yard line, to pick up of 3. He's carried 12 times for 76 yards.
One of the things that all of the Michigan State family and coaches were saying about this football game and the speed of Florida is, hey, we face some pretty fast football defenses in the Big Ten nowadays. Penn State's not slow. Ohio State's had some fast defenses the last couple of years, and a team by Michigan just down the road, pretty fast defense too.
Second and 8. Play fake Burke. Looking Burress. Got him. Touchdown, Michigan State. 21 yards. Plaxico Burress in undoubtedly his final college game with Michigan State, going up to put the Spartans ahead as he climbs the ladder for the score.
That was the best throw of the game by Burke. Put it right on the line. Didn't have time to lay it up because Plaxico would have ran out of the end zone. He threw it on a line, kept it up on the top shelf for just Burress. There's no other buddy that could get it. Alexander too small to make the play.
Burress, 8 catches, 109 yards, and 2 touchdowns.
Best throw of the day. Play action pass. Holds the linebackers. See the free safety. Daryl Dixon come up and bite. And that's all you needed to put it up. You know, it's not the easiest throw in the world to throw it hard and high like that. Perfect technique.
He must remind some scouts of Randy Moss. I don't want to put that hex on him right now, but that great size. He's very physical as a wide receiver. He was a one-time schoolboy basketball star. They tell us he's been timed in 4.4. Even if that's not quite accurate, he can still flat out move, as he got by the corner pretty easily that time and then went up in the air. He'll come downfield on kickoff coverages, that desire they look for in the NFL. And now let's see if they come right back to him for the deuce.
You know, maybe he's right. He's always telling everybody, just throw me the ball. Maybe he's right. You know?
He'll go off to the left side of the formation. They'll put him in a slot. If they can pick, they might free him. Shotgun look for the 2-point conversion. Covered. Comes back. And that time, Alexander would not let him free. Incomplete. Plaxico tried to cut back to the ball, and Benny Alexander with position would not give way that time. But he did give up 6 points on the previous play, and so it's a 5-point Michigan State lead.
I think if Burke had to do it over with again, he'd throw it right away. Watch, he stops. He's got one on coverage to the outside. Just throw the fade. Shotgun, throw it. Kind of loses sight and then doesn't know what to do with the ball. Then he's dead. He's got to hope that Plaxico can come back inside. Early, one-on-one coverage. Just throw it to the sideline right up here. He's got the mismatch he wants. If he'd thrown it right away, he would have had the 2-point play.
Plaxico today with 8 catches, 10 a career high. He leads the special team out on the field. In case you just joined us, the young man who leads the way offensively, also comes down the field on kickoff coverage, and he made a tackle in the first half. He is outside left right now, number 4 for Michigan State. Let's see if the Gators have assigned someone to just get him picked up as quickly as they can when he comes downfield.
See, he's playing a safety this time.
And this is going to be Capel. And Capel with great speed turns the corner, almost out at midfield. And it was Plaxico Burress who may have saved the touchdown. That's a 37-yard run. In a foot race, folks, Capel's going to beat him, but Burress had a little bit of an angle that time. And let's watch.
An angle and a 6'6" height helped him reach him get this play. He had to use it all, that reach on that play.
Gators get a lift on the return by Capel. Time running down here in the third quarter. 26-21 Michigan State. Dropped. Oh, Amp would have walked in with the touchdown. Amp Campbell had nothing but green grass in front of him, and he coughed it up.
And you remember, Amp is the guy that's been doing all the talking this week, saying the Florida receivers weren't tough. He gets a gimme. This is a bunny, right? Gets it right there. The receiver runs the wrong route, lack of communication, and I know the whole Spartan family was hoping for Amp, who had that severe injury just 2 years ago, to come back and get it.
Dropped off to the running back, Gillespie. First down, Florida. The Gators on the move. The ball at the 38-yard line.
Michigan State lost a bit of focus, thinking about the last play in the drop and what could have been on the touchdown. Kind of got lost that time, went through the motions, and Spurrier calls a good play to take advantage of it. Just a little short pass for a first down.
Jackson and Willis are off to the right side of the formation. Johnson, incomplete. Jackson, the target, missed him by a mile. Second down and 10. Johnson straight back. Dropped by Gillespie at the 35-yard line. It'll be 3rd and 10.
Been one drop this quarter for Doug, but he's now 3 for 10 for 48 yards in this quarter. Hit a couple up the middle on that drive in the gut of that zone defense, but still seems to be struggling high with some of his easy throws.
The Spartans doing a better job on Travis Taylor in the second half. He's matched against Hill. Spartans are soft on the corners, show safety blitz. Newsom backs out, now comes back up, and he was coming. Quick pop, here is Taylor. Taylor breaks the hill. Tackle, he'll go now. 15, 10, 5, turns, end zone. They got it. Touchdown, Gators. Travis Taylor's 3rd touchdown of the game, and a fight is broken out at the 46-yard line. Spurrier trying to keep him back on the sideline. The Michigan State coaches are quickly out there. Spurrier wanting everybody back off the field. There's the defensive back who was beaten on that quick slant on the other side. Amp Campbell was picked up. It was actually Ronaldo Hill who had the coverage. Steve is over with Bobby.
Ronaldo Hill right here. You got the safety blitz. Brent, you saw it. Quick slant, and then watch Taylor go afterwards.
On both teams, number 78 and number 91 are ejected from the game for touchdowns.
Touchdown counts. Bobby livid. And the Gators decide to go for 2 here also. They lead it by 1. They're trying to give themselves a 3-point cushion. take the field goal wins out of the mathematical equation if they can. Johnson down. The lead stays. Julian Peterson makes the stop on the conversion.
So, you know what? Very interesting, that play. Both coaches were out in the middle of the field trying to break it up, but neither coach had any backup in him. You know, I mean, new coach Bobby Williams didn't defer to Steve Spurrier. He was out there fighting for his guys. Doug Johnson struggling a bit, but threw a strike to get that touchdown play.
Well, the receiver read the safety blitz right away. Newsom didn't camouflage it, and now you can see Peterson make another big play defensively for the Spartans.
Julian Peterson, this time he's matched up against a wide receiver, though. That's just not going to work. That ball has to be thrown quicker than that if you're Doug Johnson. You know you don't have time. Now it's Burress' time.
Jeff Chandler into the end zone. Haygood to the 18-yard line. We come to the end of what started out as a slow third quarter and then exploded down the stretch. ABC Sports presentation of the OurHouse.com Florida Citrus Bowl continues after this message and a word from our ABC station. We have just had a penalty flag thrown against Manuel of the Gators, who was attempting to fire the crowd up.
Dead ball. Unsportsmanlike conduct. Over the 15 yards.
And this crowd.
That's a little bit too much, though. Even during a TV break, you can't get the crowd excited about the game. I mean, and you know, Brent, I feel that they should not excessively draw attention to themselves. I'm a big fan of that
Here
rule.
are the three, Gary, who have been tossed out. Hubert Thompson gone for the Spartans. Kenyatta Walker and Demetrius Lewis. Kenyatta Walker, a starting tackle.
Yeah, and they all deserve to be. They all deserve to be thrown out of the game. But during a TV timeout, both sets of fans, the Michigan State fans are cheering, the Gator fans are into the game, and the players are too.
The Gator fans are in this baby to stay now, and the Spartan fans join them. It's the SEC against the Big Ten, and now they're hooting and hollering. Burke of the Spartans down the sideline. Grabbed by Burress was the out-of-bounds juggling the ball. Couldn't hang on as he came down the sideline, that time against Robert Cromartie, who's back in the game.
See, Burress does not help his quarterback here. Gets too far outside, too near the sideline. There's no room to throw the ball here. That's almost a perfect throw, but not enough room for him to catch it. You got to move in a little bit and help your quarterback, give him some space to
You
throw.
are really an ex-quarterback if you're blaming your wife.
Oh, yeah, you got to do that. I'd be all over him in the huddle.
Second down and 10. Burke in the shotgun. The blitz. Davis takes him, fumble. Gators pounce on it. Gators recover it. Alex Brown goes for the loose football as Andra Davis comes on the blitz for the Gators, and those two, one a sophomore, the other also a sophomore, put it together for Florida.
Number 45, Andra Davis, comes clean. Nobody blocks him. Sticks his left hand, gets him on the shoulder pad, and Burke drops the ball as he comes down. You watch the Florida quarterbacks. They hold the ball in two hands when they're in the pocket. Burke just one hand on the ball.
Johnson straight back. Going for the juggler on first down. Got it in the end zone. No. Incomplete. Darrell Jackson battling for possession in the end zone with Cedric Henry, who has stepped in for Amp Campbell and couldn't make the play.
Ball was slightly underthrown. How do you like that one? That's it.
The first negative thing you said about a QB all day.
Ball is slightly underthrown. See how the receiver has to slow down, gives Henry a chance to do it. No, but that's where you throw the ball, where you give the quarterback room to throw it inside or outside to make the play. That's how you run that route.
Heats on Cedric Henry now. He's replaced Amp Campbell. 2nd down and 10. Campbell shaken up. Short drop. They'll go back after him. And over the top of him to Darrell Jackson and Jackaroo. What's the situation now with Amp Campbell down on the field?
Well, Brent, he should not, and I repeat, should not be going out on the field, but that's not the case. He is going to go out. Both of his hamstrings cramped up so bad that he could hardly walk. He's such a competitor that he pushed aside the trainer and said, I'm the leader on the defense. I've got enough to go back out there again.
Yeah, he's got enough to go out there, but does he have enough to stay with the receiver on a fade? If I'm Spurrier, I'm going right at him first play.
He backs off the bump and run. They toss to go the other way. Here comes the end around to pass. Back to Johnson, the quarterback, the eligible receiver in the T formation in the college game. And Johnson steps out of bounds. The only way you can do it in the NFL is you line him up in the gun. That's 11 yards.
That's about the 8th trick play that the Gators have run today. Pitch back. Pitch it again. The receiver just lobs it out there. That's an easy one to throw. Johnson makes the catch and another first down.
So Darrell Jackson with his first pass and his first completion of the game gives the Gators a first down inside the 15-yard line. Gillespie checks in as the running back. The fun and gun. Back off now to Gillespie. Gillespie coming short side, short of the 10-yard line. The Gators wanted a late hit on the play, but I don't think they'll get any yellow this time.
Amp Campbell is playing at 50%. I just don't see how they can keep him in the football game.
Limping as he comes back, and now Henry replaces him.
They've got to.
Henry replaces him, and Amp will go off.
He just can't cover his receiver. Sooner or later, the coaches in the box are going to see that and go right at him. They're going after Henry anyway.
2nd and 7. The blitz against Johnson. Fires the flanker screen. Taylor looking for daylight. Cut off and out of bounds at the 10-yard line. Eric Morris, the defender.
Boy, for two schools that have never faced each other, there's a little bit of motion going on, isn't there, out now?
Yeah, I agree.
This is.
I think they played each other every year.
Right, and I think this is what everybody likes to see when these great conferences get together. Instead of these great schools in their non-conference games trying to get, cupcakes to play, why don't they play each other and let the fans enjoy these games?
3rd down and 7.
Here they come again.
Gators lead it by a point. Gillespie to the middle. Gillespie. Fumble in the end zone.
He got it back, I think.
Touchdown. Touchdown. Recovered in the end zone for a Gator touchdown. Robert Gillespie charges after the loose ball and recovers it for the score.
That's great quickness, getting back up as quick as he did to get this ball. Watch it. Little draw play. Gets tackled. Ball pops loose. Look how quick he gets back up for that ball. Grabs it with one hand for the touchdown.
That is a sensational play by Robert Gillespie out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi. 5'9", 185, only a sophomore. Jeff Chandler. Take one more look at Robert Gillespie. Gary Danielson told you the key, the quick recovery, the one-handed grab for the touchdown. 34-26, timeout. I don't know about you, Mr. Danielson, but I'll settle for this score Tuesday night.
Yeah, that would be fun.
Okay. Remember now, Michigan State is only one big play and a two-point conversion away from a tie.
Yeah.
It's 34-26. 13:27 remain in a dandy of an OurHouse.com Florida Citrus Bowl. Haygood trying to make the Spartans feel good out to the 24-yard line.
Brent, let's set up the Dell Solutions. We looked at them at the beginning of the game. Let's see if they've changed. I said you got to use your mismatches if you're Michigan State. Go to Burress and Duckett. I think that still stands. Get Burress the ball, get Duckett the ball, locate Brown. When they block Brown, they've done a good job. Florida get off the blocks on the running game, yes, and jam Burress. Jam Scott. That's the best way to stop him. Still stands.
Senior Bill Burke from Warren, Ohio, brings the Spartans out. Freshman T.J. Duckett from Kalamazoo, Michigan behind him. The swing to Duckett. Duckett steps lively, fumble, out of bounds. Michigan State with a break as the ball rolls out of bounds.
Can't do that.
After Duckett coughed it up.
Can't do that to me, TJ. I just said you're not a fumbler with those big hands. Out to the side, cuts back inside, has the ball in the right hand. That's the proper hand, but just at the end, kind of a strip by Andre Javis right there coming across. As much in its tough second half seasons as both of these quarterbacks have had, they've kind of both come through in this football game for their team. I think Burke and Johnson have really stood tall.
First down, the SEC already with 2 big wins today. One against the Big Ten, Georgia in OT against Purdue. Miami doing a number on Georgia Tech, holding Joe Hamilton to 13 points. Clemens for the first down. First down. Toss to Clemens. Clemens runs hard, real hard, for a first down near midfield.
You know, Clemens' best game of the year was against Illinois, gained 141 yards against the Illini. Transferred from Rhode Island, senior, kind of the speed and the hammer. Duckett's the hammer, the speed by Clemens. Pretty good tandem right there for these guys.
Clemens 14 carries, 78 yards, and T.J. Duckett re-enters the game. Second down and 7. Scott in motion again. Burke. Got Burress wide open and just dropped it right to him between 2 Gator defenders, out of bounds at the 31, an 18-yard gain.
Lito Shepard, the freshman there, just found out what it's like to go against an NFL receiver. Because watch this turnaround. Whoop, wrong way. Look at that isolation. The difference between a high school player and an NFL player. Burress is laughing as he catches that one.
And now he has caught 9 balls for 127 yards. Spartans are down by 8, 10:52 to go.
Burress is, you know, men against boys out here. I mean, he just heads and shoulders, not only in height, but in talent, better than these corners for Florida.
Marty back on the field against him. Burress going to run for the end zone. They've got him. Touchdown! Michigan State a 2-point conversion away. 30 yards to Plaxico Burress. 6'6", 222 out of Virginia Beach, Virginia.
Didn't even put a fake on that time. Just ran straight down the field. Go to your mismatches. Here's the safety, here's the corner, watch this, right in between them, doesn't even fake, just runs right down the middle of the field. Not even a great route that time, that's too easy.
So with that 10th catch of the game, Plaxico ties the career high. 10 catches for 157 yards, 3 touchdowns, and now, as I told you, they would go for the 2-point conversion.
Remember, they had the fade last time.
Looking for Burress. Burke goes to Scott. Tied.
Great football game.
10:46 remaining in the OurHouse.com Florida Citrus Bowl. Michigan State and Florida are deadlocked at 34. 3 touchdowns, tied a record set earlier today by Travis Taylor of Florida. And now it is going to be Taylor's turn to go to work with senior quarterback Doug Johnson. 10:46 remaining, deadlocked. 34 all here. Capel coming out. Cuts and slips. 13-yard line. And a penalty flag, and it's a foolish penalty. He was already down. There was no need to give him the business, as our friend Ben Dreith once said in an NFL game. He didn't need the business. He was already down, young man.
And that's the second penalty for Sean Wright. Remember, he had the one earlier on the quarterback?
Foul on the kicking team, 15 yards.
OurHouse.com has been rocking in Orlando today. 34 all with 7:10 to go, and the Gators take over. First and 10. The ball is on their own 28-yard line. Doug Johnson, who has quarterbacked the entire game for Steve Spurrier. Bo Carroll out to the left side of the formation. They're down to 2 running backs, and Johnson taking time. Gets it off. Gillespie on the field the same time, and the Gators with a wide variety of formations, probably as many formations as I've seen any team use in a single game this year.
Julian Peterson has just been the difference for this Michigan State defense. Florida cannot find him. They're going flopping from side to side, and it seems like he's getting a mismatch, whether it's a slow tackle or a fast back. He seems to be causing havoc. Soft zone from Michigan State here, too deep.
Johnson, sideline, complete for the first down. It's Travis Taylor making that catch, now has 11 catches for 156 yards. The ball at the Gators' 36-yard line. Johnson, and miscommunication that time. Darrell Jackson broke the pattern off, and Doug going deep.
Let's see, there's communication, miscommunication, bad communication. That probably was no communication on that one. That almost caught, that was just as bad as the Michigan State, not as good a throw. You see, you're going to get Eric Morris coming in here to blitz, man-to-man coverage with a free safety, and we'll see what happened here. Guy comes down, runs a stop and go, and then stop. See that? Just hung your quarterback out again. You got to run the play. As called. There's no such thing as a stop-go stop.
24-49 for 288. 3 scores for Johnson. Second down and 10. Underneath, Willis at the 41-yard line. Incomplete. The linesman was going to give it to him from behind. He couldn't see, but from across the field, the other official with a clearer look said that the ball was not held cleanly as he hit the ground.
So the bugaboo for Florida, third down. In the last 6 games prior to this game, Florida converted 16% only of their third down conversions. 3rd and 10, crucial here.
They're 6 of 14 in this game. This is the 15th third down play for the Gators.
I'll tell you, Michigan State is confused. No help at all deep.
Johnson on the blitz and not going to be able to take advantage of it. They were all lined up at the line of scrimmage, and Thomas Wright came across on the safety blitz to make the play on the call by Miller upstairs. That's the 5th Spartan sack of the game.
The all-time best Spartan sacking team this year. You see the 2 safeties inside. Both come, nobody deep on 3rd and 10. You would assume some safety would be back there. Not enough guys. Johnson has nowhere to go with.
Inside of 2 minutes, the SEC and the Big Ten have gone to overtime once already today. Georgia beating Purdue. We're 145 away from a second OT between those 2 conferences. Scott, fair catch the signal, and he makes it at the 38-yard line, and they didn't give him enough room to make the fair catch. You know what I think about that rule. I'm not going to get back into it again.
You know, Brett, now as the new millennium, I didn't like it in '99, but in 2000, I agree with you more. See, I had to wait.
5 yards. First down.
I think every 100 years they should change that rule. They should change it back now.
You know, on a high punt, where the coverage men are down, signal for the fair catch and make the catch.
Well, he was to the side of him that time. He was jumping away.
But he tried to stop.
He did.
He saw what was happening. Regardless. We'll take a break. It's all tied at 34 Orlando. It's rocking in Orlando. 1:35 to go. 2 timeouts. Michigan State and Florida tied at 34. Spartans football. 56 yards away from the end zone. Play fake. Burke comes up firing, and Burress with another catch out of bounds at midfield. He picks up 5 yards on that reception. Every time he catches the ball, he adds to his career high, which now stands at 13 for 185 yards and 3 touchdowns. His first game as a head coach, Bobby Williams, elevated from associate head coach and running backs coach when Nick Saban left to take the job at LSU. Clemens, first down, Michigan State. Pounds across the 40-yard line. Paul Ettinger, their field goal specialist, has a strong, long leg. He has made one from 46 yards today and missed one from 45. Ettinger is 3 for 4 from 50-plus yards, with the time now starting to come down, and the Spartans will be thinking about putting him where he wants to be. That's next, of course, Wisconsin against Stanford when we finish. First down. They'll run. Clemens to the 32-yard line. Bringing it down those seconds. Then they'll turn it over to Ettinger. If he hits it, the Spartans could wind up with a big win here at the OurHouse.com Florida Citrus Bowl. If he misses, they'll go on into OT.
You got to wonder if Florida isn't going to take a timeout here. State obviously playing for a field goal. If I'm Florida, I'd want one more chance with the ball.
2nd and 4. Need a stop. The Gators do. And Michigan State burrows right straight ahead. Every yard precious here with Andre Davis making the stop. They just inches Ettinger closer and closer for Bobby Williams.
3rd and short, if my memory is correct. 3 times Michigan State has run the ball and been stopped. 1 time they play action passed it to the fullback to pick it up. They have not been successful running the ball. The situation calls for a run with this amount of time left in the game.
Ettinger on the sideline.
Who took that timeout? It has not been signaled as to who called the timeout yet.
Yeah, I think it was Michigan State.
Michigan State?
I saw that
Okay,
graphic
Michigan
right
State.
there. The Michigan State is down to 1,
All right.
and Florida still with 2.
Okay, so if you're the quarterback, you got to be talking to the coach and saying, listen, I threw the ball to the fullback and we picked it up. Let's not leave it all to our kicker right here. I can throw the ball to the flat. It's a very safe play. Coach Watts, give me a chance to run that play action pass and dump it off. That's what I'd be doing if I was quarterback.
A couple other fellows nervous over there. Number 52, the long snapper, Mike Neal. The holder is busy right now. That's Bill Burke with time coming down. He played down at Kathleen Senior High School in Lakeland. He was an outstanding soccer player, so he waits his shot. 3rd down and 2. 24 seconds to go.
Michigan's shift in motion here.
The toss play. Clemens, first down, bolts free, helps Ettinger down to the 22-yard line. Remember, they still have a timeout left. That stops the clock because of the first down. Spurrier can only watch from that sideline, out of his hands right now.
Mike, right now you center the ball in the middle of the field and kick it.
They're going to bring it down to 3. You saw Bobby Williams make the signal, and there is the timeout. So now in his first game as a head coach, it'll come down to a field goal with time running out. Paul Ettinger, who loves to play video games, and we are told that the one player on the team who can handle him in that EA college football is Plaxico Burress.
Well, let's set the stage here. You've done it really good. Remember, all these players went to bat for Bobby Williams. The coaches did, and now they have an opportunity to knock off the Gators here with a field goal.
It would be the first ever 3-game losing streak in Steve Spurrier's career at Florida. Here it comes. Mike Neal, the snapper. Bill Burke, the holder. Paul Ettinger. 39 yards. Got it. Good. Michigan State beats Florida. Bobby Williams a winner in his first game. Steve Spurrier, his first ever 3-game losing streak as the head coach of the Florida Gators. The Spartans of the Big Ten beat the Gators of the SEC.
Look at that.
And the man they wanted is the head coach. Is hoisted high on a 39-yard field goal by senior Paul Ettinger.
The two captains, Amp Campbell and Eric Morris, hugging their coach.
They almost drowned the poor fella. Well, let's hope the Rose Bowl is as exciting. Michigan State 37, Florida 34. Stay tuned now. The Rose Bowl presented by AT&T between Wisconsin and Stanford is next. ABC Sports is online at ESPN.com. Michigan State 37, Florida 34.